Queen Elizabeth's secret financial playbook discovered. Let me read it out exactly as she wrote it.
I wrote the financial playbook to be read after I am no more. Listen carefully as he read.
Let's go. People assume that wealth simply arrives when you are born into a certain position. They are quite wrong. I have sat at negotiating tables with prime ministers. I have watched fortunes dissolve in a single parliamentary session. I have seen men with far greater resources than mine make decisions so remarkably foolish it would make your head spin. And I have, on more than one occasion, made a decision that the world called eccentric, and watched it quietly make us millions. So if you will permit me a few minutes of your time, I should like to tell you exactly what I learned. Not the version they print in the papers. The real version. Let us begin with something my great-grandmother understood, and which I reinforced throughout my reign. Land is not an asset. Land is a position. In the early years of my reign, there was considerable pressure from government, from advisors, from well-meaning economists, to modernize the Crown estate. To liquidate what they called underperforming rural holdings. Fields in the highlands. Coastal stretches nobody was building on. Agricultural land producing modest rents. They brought me figures. Spreadsheets, as they'd later be called. I asked one question: what does this land look like in 50 years? Nobody had an answer. So I kept it. The Crown Estate today manages a portfolio worth over £15 billion. Much of that value, the wind farms off the coastline, the marine energy leases, the telecommunications infrastructure built on land we were told was dead weight. That value came from doing absolutely nothing. The most powerful financial move I made in 4 decades was not selling. Remember that. When everyone tells you to liquidate, to modernize, to move on, ask yourself, what does this look like in 50 years? Patience, when applied to the right asset, is not passivity. It is the most aggressive strategy available to you. People assume that running palaces, castles, the royal collection, all of that comes from some vast private treasure chest. Stuffed with gold coins, perhaps. It does not. What I understood, and what every serious wealth builder must understand, is the art of making your obligation someone else's investment. Now let's take it to the government. The sovereign grant. The arrangement by which the British taxpayer funds the maintenance of royal residences in exchange for the profits of the Crown Estate. Many commentators have called this controversial. I call it a masterclass in structured finance. I did not pay to restore Windsor Castle after the fire of 1992. The nation contributed. Because Windsor Castle belongs in a very real sense to the nation. I did not fund the refurbishment of Buckingham Palace out of personal reserves. The sovereign grant covered it. Meanwhile, the Crown Estate which I effectively stewarded grew. Now this is to you listening to me. You are not a monarch. But you do have assets that others depend on. Your business. Your property. Your expertise. Ask yourself, who benefits from what I maintain? And then ask, why am I maintaining it entirely alone? Grants exist. Partnerships exist. Tenants, sponsors, co-investors, they all exist. But moment I stopped thinking of my responsibilities as costs and started thinking of them as shared interests, everything changed. Structure your life so that the things you must maintain are the things others are willing to invest. I never discuss money. That was the point. This one is perhaps the most counterintuitive lesson. For 70 years, I never publicly disclosed my personal finances. Never confirmed figures. Never responded to estimates. The press would speculate. Billions, they'd say. Sometimes more. Sometimes less. I neither confirmed nor corrected. And here is what that silence did. It protected me from taxation.
Go and digest the one he just read. He will continue tomorrow. Subscribe to Wealth Code and turn on the notification button.